With that being said, our lead story of the day is Fox News reporter Jacqui Heinrich questioning Karine Jean-Pierre during the White House press briefing regarding if Joe Biden is or is not going to hold a press briefing after the midterms and answer the press's question. Wait till you get to Karine Jean-Pierre's response and then Jacqui Heinrich's follow-up, folks. This is one you're definitely not going to want to miss. Hit that like and subscribe button. With that being said, let's roll into the tape.
Okay. Thank you, Karine. I know you said from the podium a number of times, including today, that the American people will hear from the president the day after the midterms, but his statement or remarks is not just a departure from the traditions that the president has promised to restore to the White House, but it also doesn't allow this sort of nuanced discussion about what signal voters are sending in the midterms or how he plans to engage with the new Congress. An outside observer might conclude that he doesn't want to have a press conference because he looks poised to lose control of one or both chambers. So why the day before the midterms won't the White House commit to holding that traditional post-midterms press conference the day after the election?
You've been covering this administration for the past 20 months, right? As you know, it takes some time in any administration to lay out what the schedule is going to be. I have been very clear. You're going to hear from the president. He always enjoys taking your questions. I'm sure he'll take your questions as well. I'm just not going to get ahead of it. I'm just not going to lay out what his day is going to specifically look like on Wednesday. But again, he is going to address the American people, and I think that matters. He's going to be clear about what's on his mind, and I'm just not going to get ahead of it.
So it's a scheduling thing, folks, as if they didn't know the midterms were coming up. It's a surprise to all of them. Look, addressing the American people is different than holding a press conference with the free press to answer their unvetted questions, of which he rarely does. He'll take a question here and there, and we all see how he answers those ones. God, it is horrible. When have we ever seen him on that podium? Ever? In 20 months? We haven't, folks. We haven't. That's the answer. So he's going to address the American people, maybe answer a couple questions or just completely dodge them altogether. And the question was, is he going to hold a traditional press conference with the free press, Karine? That's the question. But you're going to say it's scheduling. Well, you've been working here for 20 months. You've been covering us. Don't you know the answer? It's unbelievable.
From you. The president's own warning, though, that democracy is on the ballot, plus this potential for unrest, make it that much more important that the president avail himself to the free and open press that he has lauded as indispensable to the functioning of democracy.
Damn, what a question. What a freaking question. And you package it in a way, Jacqui, that was just completely just smacks her right upside her head, utilizing their own words. Damn, you did good on this one.
The president has been very clear about where he stands when it comes to democracy. You've heard him talk about democracy over and over again. He talked about it last week at how important it is for the American people as they are thinking about the choice in front of them, what's at stake. He's been really clear. He's condemned political violence. This is a president who the reason why he decided to run for this office was because of what he was seeing. You know what he talked about, the soul of a nation. So I disagree with your premise as if it is something that is not important to him. He has made this an important issue. And
it's not important to him. I don't mean to keep cutting her off, but dude, it's been 20 months and he has to have vetted questions. I mean, we all seen the card where he has to be told to sit down. This is the person who you're going to be talking to. This is who they are. Make sure you breathe, Joe. Just breathe so you don't pass out. He's never stood on that podium. He hasn't done a full-fledged press conference with all of them. That's what they're eagerly waiting for. That's what we're all eagerly waiting for. But we all know it's not going to happen. There's no way in hell that guy would survive a press conference like what Karine Jean-Pierre is doing. But he's been clear, you guys. Yeah, he's been clear calling MAGA Republicans a threat to democracy and that our democracy is at stake. This is the biggest election that's ever existed in the human of mankind, or whatever the hell he wants to say. But yeah, he's not going to sit there and address the press, which is a tradition, after you're just going done and saying, hey, if you basically vote Republican, there goes our democracy, there goes our country, whoop-de-doo. Yeah, it's just a bunch of crap, and then they can't fathom why they're not getting elected. They can't fathom why they're getting shellacked at the polls. We got knuckleheads like this that are mouthpieces for the leader of the free world that can't answer basic questions. And then when you got a fabulous question from a Fox News reporter, Jacqui Heinrich, that uses their own words, she don't know what to say. She don't know what the hell to do.
Again, I'm not going to get ahead of it. The American people, which is what matters, specifically, is going to hear from the American people.
About press access, not democracy.
It's all about press access, not just democracy. I don't know who that was in the back, but damn, this happens twice in this press briefing. First during this segment and then one during Philip Wegman's segment, which we'll get to in a moment. But it's right. It's not just about democracy. It's about talking to the press, which also helps do investigation, getting word out to the American people. Not everybody watches the press briefings. Not everybody watches Joe Biden because he falls asleep half the time, fights with his teleprompter. I mean, I watch it just because it's entertaining, because I want to see what word he's going to slip up on. You know, is he going to fall asleep once again? Is he going to lose his train of thought? Is he going to call Joe Biden Joe Biden? I mean, there's so much stuff. The possibilities are endless, you guys. I mean, it's a fabulous thing to watch here. But there you go. She's not going to answer anybody's questions. They don't want to get him out there answering the press's questions because it's going to fall apart. I mean, we literally seen an interview on 60 Minutes where he falls asleep mid-interview, and the interviewer goes, Mr. President, wake up, Joe, wake up. I mean, it would literally be a bloodbath from the press if he were to sit there and take unvetted questions from them. Can you imagine the content that we would get here on the Bald Brad Show? I promise you, I'll make a deal with all of you. If he does a press briefing here and he's going to take unvetted questions, no joke, we're going live. Bring the coffee, the beer, the popcorn, whatever the hell you guys eat and drink. Boy, we're going to have a whole event with it, folks. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be the best press briefing you've ever seen. All the lights in the back. I see you. Where are you, Jim Acosta? I mean, Trump would have a field day with it. We're going to have a field day with it. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.